Which side should India take in this conflict? And the answer I'm going to give you is very simple. India should take India's side. India should do whatever it is needed to further India's national interest. Whatever is in our best interests, we should do it. So, right now, as you can see in the UN, India abstained from that vote condemning Russian actions. India issued a set of reasons why it is abstaining. But the real deal is this, that India doesn't see any justification in opposing the Russian action. And it is better for India not to get on the bad side of Russia, because we have a lot in common, and we are going to have much more in common in the coming years and decades. Our national interests align significantly, right? And the Russians have a track record of being on India's side for whatever reason. They are doing it out of their own self interest, sure, but they still have a track record of being a reliable partner. If you look back at the last 60, 70, 80 years. And what is America's track record? They supplied Pakistan with the weaponry, with the ammunition, with the training, and billions of dollars per year for decades. And they used Pakistan as a proxy to bleed India. That's what the Americans did. What happened in 2008 when the Pakistanis stormed the city of Bombay? They held the city of Bombay hostage and they killed hundreds of people. Did the Americans impose sanctions on Pakistan? Did they bomb Pakistan? No. What happened when the Chinese did the Galwan misadventure and they killed Indian soldiers? Did the West condemn Chinese actions? Did they impose sanctions on China? Was there a vote in the UN for condemning the Chinese action? Nothing. They urged both sides to resolve the matter through talks. Please don't resort to violence. Please exercise restraint. They have never supported India. So why should India support Ukraine or the West? The Ukrainians have always voted against India in the UN. They voted to impose sanctions on India in 1998 when India conducted the nuclear tests, right? And they have been supplying the Pakistanis with weaponry and various military material which is used against India. And now they want India's help. and and now they are holding our students hostage and blackmailing India openly on the United Nations Security Council stage. Why would India support Ukraine? The sooner Mr. Putin takes over, the better for us. That will free our students there. So India should take India's side, and it is best for India's long-term national interest to stay out of this matter. And some people are saying, some geniuses in the media are saying that India has gone back to non-alignment because India has abstained from the vote. India did not take the side of the West or of Russia. India abstained. So this is non-alignment. These people who say that are real geniuses. I must applaud their brilliance if they call this non-alignment. Non-alignment, which comes from the Nehruvian times, was a totally different thing. It was about hurting your national interest. What India is doing is in the pursuance of its long-term national interest. What India did right now, abstaining from voting, that is the right strategy. It is not non-alignment. It is actually non-alignment with the West. A vote to abstain is actually a vote in favor of Russia in the current situation and circumstances. What the US and the West wanted to achieve in the UN vote was to say that the majority of the world stands with Ukraine. If India had voted against Russia, that would add 1.3 billion votes against Russia. Then they could claim that the majority of the world is against Russia. But by abstaining, we have defeated that move. So India essentially is standing with Russia and not with the West. So that's what India is doing. Staying neutral doesn't seem to be an option. Why, bhai? We are not neutral. We are technically neutral, but we are on our own side. We are doing what is best for us in the long run. We're going to need Russia. We are going to need Russia in the long run. What do the Americans? People say that India is part of the Quad. India is part of the US-led grouping, so India should remain loyal to the Quad and the US. Why? Why? What does India get from staying loyal or being loyal to the US? Do we get something from the US? Do we get some special weapons systems? Do we get some transfer of technology? Do we get some economic benefits? We get nothing. And look at our cooperation with Russia. They are helping us develop miniaturized nuclear reactors to be used in nuclear submarines. They are helping us with our nuclear submarine design. They have always helped us with various other weapons and technologies. They transferred the MiG 21 technology to us in the 1960s. We never used that. That's a different story, right? And our cooperation with them is still very significant. More than 60-70% of our weapons purchases still come from Russia. Why should we vote against them? Give me one single good reason for that, right? So we are not voting for them or against them. We are just staying technically neutral, which is something that has really infuriated the West right now. And we are seeing that on social media. All their disposable freelance minions are tweeting on Twitter and trying to portray India's actions as being in favor of Russia. So that's what we are seeing right now.